Hello, everyone.
Hello there.
This week Matilda and I were discussing a quote by Richard Rohr that we came across in something that we've read. And it's not really something new. Often, as we've said before, it's almost like circling the same issues often. And we admit that, but we also admit to forgetting, not taking things to heart, not living from what we know
Yeah,
to a large degree.
yeah.
So, the quote by Richard: if it is something we can control, it is not God. If it is something we can control, it is not God. And it's something big.
Yeah, and it's sort of, when you hear it, the first instance, it's sort of almost shocking. Does that mean everything uncontrollable in my life is God? And that's not what it is. It's what it says is that God cannot be controlled.
Yes.
So I was sort of sitting with this, and I was my mind, I suppose, my ego was kept going to that. So every chaos, everything, I think all chaos, God is in all chaos, but God is not the chaos.
And the thing is, talking of chaos, I don't want to be sidetracked, but often in the chaos, we hit rock bottom.
Because we cannot control the situation.
Because we cannot control it.
Yeah.
And when we hit rock bottom, something opens up. And we experience God in a way that we haven't experienced God in any other circumstances. So, even in the chaos.
Or especially in the chaos.
Especially in the chaos.
Especially, in other words, I think that quote actually says that when you are in a place that you cannot control, God is there.
Yes.
God is very much there.
Yes.
And
closer than you think.
Closer than you think. Also, you cannot live your life in a way where you think that you can make God do what you want him to do.
Yes. To put God in a little box.
Yeah.
To domesticate God. To be at your beck and call.
Yeah.
All right, I want this, and maybe we can make a note of things to talk about, because we said that in the Afrikaans. But something that's very important to talk about is, what do we see is a blessing?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one.
What is a blessing? Because when we say, may God bless you, we have a certain image as to what that blessing is.
And it's usually something good.
Yes.
It's usually something prosperous, positive.
Yes.
Yeah. And then life happens. And sometimes when we're lucky in this life, we look back on a very difficult time and we can actually see the gift.
Yes.
And I think that is a special blessing.
Yes.
If you can see the gift in a very difficult time.
Yeah.
Where you could not control things, where you had to just, the only way out was through, and we all have those times.
Yeah. Yeah, so in other words, when Richard talks about God, he talks about the ground of being. The life force flowing through everything.
Yeah, so again, this has to do with the God image.
Yes.
And Richard's God image is that of the ground of being, the isness,
the
I am, this.
Yes.
Yeah.
The basis of reality.
Yes, yeah.
the basis of reality,
Yeah.
the one flowing, the one permeating reality.
Yeah. And that we know we cannot control.
Yes, yes.
We do not know what lies in future. We do not control things like the weather, like our lives, what happens in our life. To a large extent, the big things happening in our lives are not the things that we make happen.
Yes.
Those are things that happen, and that we stand helpless, really, in terms of how to cope, how to help, how to. It's a very difficult place to be in, that place where you are not in control.
Yeah, because that touches also the heart, and why it's in many ways so upsetting is we want to control things.
Because then we feel safe.
Because then, if I'm in control, I feel safe.
Yes.
When I'm not in control and things are falling apart, I feel very vulnerable, exposed, uncertain, all those things.
And then add to that a God image of a God that does not mean it well with you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
then you are out on a limb. You are alone.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So again, this has to do with God image. It has to do with, and I really don't think that we as humans with an ego that tries to keep us safe can get to the place where we can surrender into a situation that we can't control if we do not have a God image where we feel that God is actually on our
For
side,
us.
for us, loves us,
Yeah.
means it well with us.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you imagine the impact of our approach to life on our God image? If I turn it around, if I say, if it is going well with me, if I'm successful, then I know God is taking care of me. And then I have a very positive God image. But then when I'm in a fix or in a very, very unsettling situation, I feel separated from God. So it ties into, when does God feel close? When do I expect God to be close? When it is going well with me. But it ties into a basic attitude of trust. Giving over, to let go, that let go is such an important thing, because Richard, in another quote of his, says, the opposite of faith is not doubt, but control.
Because I put myself in control when I don't feel safe, when I don't have faith, when I don't trust.
Yes.
Because then I have to be my own God. I have to look after myself. So again, then we come to those questions like, does that mean we don't plan anything? Does that mean we're not responsible? And I don't think that is what is intended at all. I think especially this talks about times in our lives when we know that we do not have a way to handle something, handle
Yes.
things.
Somebody once said, everything is figure outable. And I don't think everything is figure outable. And everything is not fixable as well. We get to places where we enter into the great mystery, where somebody that has her whole life in front of her passes away. And we say, no, but it doesn't make sense. It's not figure outable. And all those times when we enter spaces of not being able to figure it out, we get close to God. That's where the door opens in ways that it can't happen when we're in control, when the ego is ruling the roost, and when we become vulnerable. That is what is usually said. God enters through the hole in the soul.
And with saying that, we're not saying that God brings that hardship over you.
No.
It is life happening, and in that chaos of that situation, we are more open to experience God.
Yes.
Because we do not have another answer.
Yes. We've run out of resources. Yeah. So we spoke now about blessings, but another theme that we can touch on maybe in the next talk is, how do we get to a place of trust?
Yeah, that type of trust where we can actually rest in God in those times, but also in terms of our lives, which are often very insecure, very unsure. What helps us to and to have that image of God that really cares, that's there in these circumstances.
Yeah, so maybe at the next talk we can address that. Thank you very much. Just a note, we're calling this Conversations for a specific reason. We are not at all the experts giving you the answers. Things pop up and it intrigues us, and we have conversations around it. So it's always lovely to have the feedback and hear your view on things. And thank you for the commentary that we receive. It's also always such a big thrill to receive that.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
Keep well, everyone.
Keep well. Bye-bye.